Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
Hey guys, so today's episode is going to start off with a story. The other day we were invited out to a private sort of car event where we were checking out some really cool cars. A fella had a Bentley 3.5 liter and a Rolls-Royce Phantom, beautiful cars, and even a very rare replica of the very first patent Mercedes-Benz. And we're looking at the cars and oogling them, and they're just stunning, is what they are. They're stunning. He says, hey, does your daughter want to go for a ride on one of these cars? And we go, sure, that'd be awesome. Abigail is going to get a ride in the very first patent Mercedes. Quite an event. Everybody's here taking pictures. There she goes. Has sort of a wobbly, has a funny little sound to it. Basically the very first car. Has a tiller, looks like a wagon. And I'm taking in this moment, and I look behind Abigail, and what do I see? A green Ford truck. Now, years ago, probably even before we had the YouTube channel, I'm sure, certainly it was before we did the YouTube channel, I had purchased a 79 Ford camper special. I got a good deal on it because it had a kind of a gross old camper. Well, it needed some work, it wasn't that bad, but it had a camper on the back, so the truck was cheap. And I really liked it. But since then, in the last 5 to 7 years, camper specials have gone up in value. Old Ford trucks like this, the mid to late 70s Fords, have gone up in value to a point where they're kind of getting a little expensive. So I thought, if I'm gonna have a truck, which I need, sold the ambulance, reason being I wanted to buy a truck, I want to drive a cool truck. It's got to be, it's not gonna have the same, cool factor the ambulance did, but it will be very, very handy. So I tracked down, we drove after the show to the hangar where this vehicle was parked, and I phoned the guy that had the his business name on the hangar, and he says, that's not me, that's not my truck, that's not even my land. And I said, you know the guy whose land it is? He said, yes, I know the guy whose land it is. Here's his number. So I give him a call, and I say, hey, my name's Alex. Do you get the old truck there? And he said, yes, I'm the guy with the old truck. I go, great, I found him. But he said, it's not mine. A guy's just storing it here. And I don't know if he'll want to sell it. It was his dad's, it was part of an estate. And I go, oh boy, okay, well, it doesn't hurt to try. So I get his number, I leave a message. He says, yes, the truck is low miles, 30,000 miles. That's very low on a truck. I don't believe there's any rust on it. He said it hasn't run in a decade or more. And things have changed in his life. And so, yes, he would consider selling it. But his friend was interested, and he wanted to give his friend first dibs on it. So I let it sit for a couple days. I said, okay, if you decide you want to sell it, let me know, and we'll buy the truck off you at the price he said. And so he phones me back today. And he said, my friend said he can't buy the truck, or he can't figure out where to store it. It's yours if you want it. I say, great. He comes in the store, we do a bill of sale, fill out the paperwork. And as it turns out, the fellow who is buying the truck off of me has had a big change of events in his life. He sold his house, kind of maybe having some financial difficulties, and was living in his own truck, and really, really needed to sell it. So this was a really great turn of events for him, that he got the money from the truck, and we'll get him back on his feet for a little bit. So that worked out really good. We get to chatting, and I don't recognize him at first, and then it turns out that I actually did a YouTube video out at his property. If you go back in the archives, and I'll see if I can link the video here, I went out to their family farm, and I bought some antiques, an old bicycle, a religious icon painting that I found in the rafters of the barn that was over 100 years old. It was a great fun day. So he and I actually had a history together. So what are the odds, I ask you, that I'm looking for a truck, specifically a Ford truck? I get invited to a car event. I see a Ford truck there. It happens to be the exact right type of truck I want and belong to a guy that I've met and spent time with before digging through barns, who now suddenly needs money. I don't know how the world works, but I tell you, it works in funny ways sometimes. But it all worked out for the best. I'm gonna end up with a cool truck, and he's gonna end up with some money to get him back on his feet. Couldn't have worked out better. And now I'm on my way in the vehicle. I'm driving, and we're gonna go get the information from the truck so I can get some plates on it and get it towed into the city, hopefully tomorrow. And now, here I am with my new old truck. Let's see, nothing in the back of it. Looks like it did have a camper on it at one point, because there's detachment points for a camper. But it's not overly rusty. It's got some faded paint going on. Nothing that can't be fixed or addressed. It doesn't look like much now, but it should do the trick. Let's see if I've got my keys in my pocket for it. I do. Open it up and have a look-see. Seats look really good. There's some extra parts in the back. There's a little ladder for a boat, which I won't need. Put that, actually that's their boat next to it. I'm gonna put this on the boat, or near it, so they can have that. Looks pretty clean though. How many miles? 38,834 miles. The fading on the hood is a result of it sitting outside for years, but that's okay. We'll get her back on the road. And I can see they took the rear view mirror off, which is sitting on the dash. Have to put that back up, because when you have a camper on the back, you don't need a rear view mirror. But this is the XLT Lariat. It's a nice addition. It looks like it even has a CB radio. All the cool tricks, all the cool stuff. 38,000 miles. And it shows with this interior. It's actually quite clean. It's the Ranger XLT. It's a little higher end model. They took the rear view mirror off, which is fine. They took it off, I can see, because when you have a camper out the back, you can't see anyway. Looks like they put a upgraded stereo in at some point, and it has a CB radio. Oh, how awesome would that be if that works? I'll have to find out. I'm just gonna be a big kid with this thing. Look, that's for the antenna booster. This is a serious truck here. And some random tools in the toolbox, or the glove box here. What I'm looking for is the old registration, so this makes it really easy to register and insure if you have it. I don't see it in there though. I just noticed that it has these sort of turbines on the front, and I did get a spare set of turbines for the back, which match the turbines on this trailer, whose color would have been kind of the same as the boat. So I'm guessing this would have been sort of his vacation package. You got the green truck, you got the green and white boat, and probably with the camper on the back, that would have made for some great times in the late 1970s. Now I'm headed home to wait for the tow truck so I can start doing a little work on this thing over the weekend. This is the scene in front of my house right now. I apologize to my neighbors as he got here kind of late. Hopefully we'll get it offloaded quickly. Yeah, we get it on the driveway. But I can see looking at it, it's not a rusty vehicle at all. With 38,000 miles on it, you should hope so. We'll get it down and have a better look at it tomorrow. It's daylight. It's here in all of its old truck glory. First thing I have to do this morning is to get that tailgate back on. Tailgate is on. It's a big improvement already, having that thing back on. I do need to get new tires. And the one problem I found is that the tires on this vehicle are 16 and a half. They're 16.5 inch rim. They're kind of obsolete. You can kind of find them, but they're really expensive. I'm gonna try and find myself some steel 16 inch rims on the 8-bolt pattern. And if I can do that, then I've got to go and get some tires. If you look and see what they actually had on the back of this thing, I guess it was the 70s. They're almost like truck slicks. They're huge. These are some of the largest tires I've seen on the back of a truck like this. I guess it would have given that sort of 4x4 look. I do like the turbines. It's a shame that they're a 16 and a half inch rim, but I'll find something cool to go on there. One thing I noticed, it's got locking wheel studs. Look at this. It's got the locks on there, so you need to have the special tool to get them off. I really hope that that's going to be in the truck somewhere, because without it, this could become a challenge. I'm going to clean out the old shag carpeting and the other stuff they put on here, I guess just for protection maybe, or for show back in the day, and see what kind of shape this interior is in underneath all that. We'll start by getting this out of here. There's my lock that was on the front of the grill. I guess it's a good lock. May as well hang on to it in case I need it, but the rest of this can go. Seat looks pretty decent. Oh, that looks like my CD radio antenna right there. Dual mount maybe? Yeah, one on each side. We can put those back in. See what's in the back here. Fan blade. Oh, that's a propeller. He was looking for that. That was for the boat. I got to get that back to him. Cardboard. Looks like at one point they were considering doing fender flares. Luckily they didn't. So I've got this set of new old stock 1970s fender flares here. If I can get them out. Kleenex with the last date on it of 1966, but I'm guessing this is a 70s or early 80s box of Kleenex. Newspaper, what year are you from? 1994. Getting up there a little bit. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff back here. Bon Ami power foam window cleaner. Looks like a tackle box. Don't know what that is. Oh, it's actually an emergency kit with band-aids and gauze pads. I actually might need that. Look, I scraped my hand putting the tailgate on. Don't know if I'd want to trust these band-aids, but nice little thing to have in your truck. It's funny, I was looking at the back. Ford pickup, macho flare. 73 to 79, right front. So this would give you basically an ability to put big sort of 4x4 tires on there. Somebody will probably want those. Getting into the back seat, and it looks to be pretty good shape. It's probably not such a bad thing that they put down. There is carpet underneath this carpet, and I'm thinking he probably put that down there to protect it from kids and whatever. I should just take that right out and wash that. This is what I want out. This, get down to the original stuff, which is right there, and yeah, it's still in okay shape. It's gonna need a good vacuum in here, but I think that'll clean up all right. Really hoping that I find tool to remove the wheels. If it's not in there, it's not under the seat. I did get the carpet out. I'm going to vacuum and shampoo all that. Interior is looking not too shabby. There's the toolbox down here. Locked. Okay, I'm going to check my keys to see if I got a key for it. I'm going to try this little guy. Okay, that should be it. And, oh, there's tools. There's a lot of tools. Sockets and, okay, this is promising. If he had all his tools in here, odds are this is probably where he kept the tool for the lugs, but don't see it yet. I'll probably take all this out and see exactly what's in here. Hey, I've got road flares, I've got a hydraulic jack, I've got a whole bunch of tools, and there are some sockets here, but I don't see one that has the special end on it. I'm gonna keep looking in hopes that I come across it. When you need parts for an old vehicle, sometimes you find yourself in a scrapyard like this. I have found a Ford F350, slightly newer model than mine, has the right type of rims with the proper newer 16-inch diameter. Problem is, they're stuck on this vehicle. It's not hoisted in the air, so I gotta try and peel these things off and see if I can do it. I need 4 of them. See what we can get here off this big old girl here. Okay, just grab their picker. It's like an overhead hoist, sort of a chain on it that helps to lift up the vehicle. So I hoisted up this old truck, popped the wheels off, and now I'm gonna load them up on a little cart and go pay. But I did notice that the guy next to me here, he was trying to get this deck off of this old truck. He got it unbolted just fine, but he might need a hand loading it. So I'm gonna stick around and see if I can help him out. Not only did I get all 4 rims that I needed, I even got the spare. But that's everything. I'll need to get some new tires, but heck, that's one less thing I have to worry about. The rim's off. The other thing I'm looking for is a gas cap. Boy, this has definitely seen better days. All I need to do is find 2 gas caps, because mine are locking and they're stuck on. First one, oh, it's locking. Second one, success, I got one. Just need to find one more just like this. It's got to be one of these old trucks or vans. Hopefully there's another one kind of like this. That's pretty much exactly like my truck. See what I can find. Sometimes I'm surprised at what's in the scrapyard. This was probably somebody's dream. Something coffee, a little coffee truck. But look, it's all decked out with the stainless steel shelves. These little heaters ready for debit. Like, there's probably quite a bit of value just in the back of this truck. Might be a nice workaround for me to try and get coffee service. That's not gonna happen though for me. Definitely not looking for a big project like that, but somebody wants a little instant food truck. That's kind of a neat way to go. Buy the back off of that and you're just about set. Well, that was good timing. They needed that truck moved anyway. They don't need my help though. They brought the big guns to help him move his deck. While they finish up there, I'm gonna take my last load of tires to the front and pay. Junkyard tires have been taken off and brand new tires have been put on. Did paint the rims black beforehand, and hopefully those will look a little bit sharper. I'm gonna get these offloaded and start to think about prepping them to put on the truck. One problem though, remember the challenge I had? I didn't have the lock key for the nut. I have sort of an unorthodox solution for that. You might have seen other people do it before. I'm gonna show you in a second. You buy a socket, slightly smaller than the lock key. And you hammer the heck out of it. And with any luck, presto, lock nut is coming loose. Now, even if I can't get this off of there again, this was a $4 socket. It cost me $4 to remove my lock key. I'm sure later I can pound this thing off if I want to, but at least I'll be able to get my rim off. And for me, that was worth the $4 investment in a socket. Handy little trick if you ever need to come across it. This is where I'm at right now. The new tires are on, the old tires are in the back, which we'll take to the recyclers or take somewhere so they can be reused or scrapped. I've got new batteries, left and right. I have lots of cranking amps with both those batteries on there. And I've cleaned the carburetor off, washed the engine down, and I've put a splash of gas in the carb now, new air filter, and we're gonna give this a try and see if she goes. Okay. Put some fuel in the tank because it was empty. Give this a go here. And put my seatbelt on so it doesn't make that noise. Okay, here goes nothing. Listen to that. A little gas. She sounds pretty decent. I'm gonna let it warm up for a bit. Clear the old fuel out of the line. And I think I've got radio. I've got a heater fan. Do I have wipers? I've got wipers. Okay, so far so good. The interior in this truck is pretty well spotless. It's in great shape, front and back. The nice thing is it's big enough for the whole family. In fact, we could sit 6 people in here. Headliner's perfect. Just a nice, clean old truck. It's pretty amazing, really. Take a new vehicle and park it for 20 years in a field and expect it to run as well as this? I don't think so. We got new tires, fresh oil, new batteries. I think, other than maybe, I gotta decide what to do with the hood here. I don't want it to get any worse. But the rest of the vehicle actually looks not too bad. I'm gonna have to decide what we're gonna do, whether it's gonna be preservation. I think maybe preserve it. Look, the rest of it's actually half decent. But a good old truck that should be perfect for our acreage, perfect for when I need to go pick up big stuff. And heck, you know, with an afternoon's worth of work to get new tires, get it up and running from being sort of a derelict vehicle, I think that's not half bad. And for the first drive in the truck, I decided to bring the whole family out and check on the construction at our future new home. How's it looking, guys?
It looks messy, but it's gonna be something cool soon.
And pretty soon that little truck will be used here as our little acreage truck. The perfect home for it. Doesn't it look right at home, sitting there at our country gates, waiting to come in? I think it looks great. So, with a little bit of hard work, fresh oil, fresh antifreeze, and a cleaned fuel filter, she's running like a top. So tomorrow, I'm taking it on the highway with my friend Bill. We're going on an adventure, and hopefully the truck makes it. But you know what? It's a sturdy old truck, and I'm sure it'll do just fine. Thanks very much for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video as we got this truck back up on the road. And now I've got a truck. Next, I guess it's a trailer. Well, that'll be a future episode. Anyway, guys, have a good night. We'll see you soon, and bye for now.